Hi! So, as many of you already know, I am keto and I have been keto for 2 years or so, and it has been fantastic for my health. I understand many people are super scared of keto. Many people understand keto is extremely dangerous. It is not. It is super safe for human beings. Human beings should be keto. Actually, babies are keto for months as soon as they are born. The only thing they have is milk from their mothers. They don't have cereal, they don't have sugar, they don't have any of that, and they grow the fastest in the first 6 months than they would grow in the rest of their lives. So keto is the answer to so many diseases, to cure type 2 diabetes and so many more diseases, inflammation in general, all those things. Keto is super healthy. There will be people saying that is going to clog your arteries, that is super dangerous, and I have to agree with them in one thing. So, my name is Adriana. I am a full-time nomad. I live here in a van, and this is not about glam camping or glamping. This is real life. I live here, and if you're new, please subscribe to the channel because we will be talking about nomad things. But in the meantime, I wanted to share, because I have been sharing this, my diet and why I did it and why I recommend it. You never heard it from me. These are just suggestions. You have to do your research, because again, research is the key to understand all that happens with our body. The point is, before I started keto, I was fainting all the time. In the month of January, I fainted 2022. I fainted 3 or 4 times, and I was not feeling well. I was feeling miserable all the time, feeling like I was dizzy, lightheaded all the time. So that is not normal. They didn't find anything. They didn't find anything. I went to the emergency room thinking I was having a heart attack, and the only thing they found, they did an MRI or a CAT scan, I don't remember. The only thing they found was that my liver was enlarged. So then when I saw my doctor, I said, "What is that?" And she says, "Oh, that is non-alcoholic fatty liver." Okay, how do we cure it? "Oh, that is normal at your age. There is no cure for that. That is normal. That is a thing people develop." And apparently, something like more than 70% of society, people out there, maybe you, everybody has a non-alcoholic fatty liver. And that is not normal. That is not healthy. That is not a cause of getting old, so you get fatty liver. No, that is not normal. That is a disease, and we have to work on that. The problem is, as we age, because we abuse our diet, we eat too many sugars, too many carbs, flour, fried foods, and oils. Please stop using seed oils. They are toxic. Okay, they are not good for you. They are toxic. They are poison, for real. In order to extract the oil from the seeds, they use chemicals, and then they cannot wash them out. So you're ingesting those chemicals. That is very dangerous. Sorry, I get very passionate about this. So I started keto so my body learns how to process the fats I eat. But then I learned that the fat we eat in a steak or something like that, that is super healthy, and our body knows how to handle that because it has been dealing with that for millennia, for 2 million years. We were hunter-gatherers, and the hunters would eat the whole animal, the fat, the organs, everything. So our bodies got used to digesting all of that perfectly. Of course, now we don't walk as much as when we were hunting and gathering, but that only adds to the problem. Again, the point is, there are other things, there are other elements, foods, that are the ones that cause fat in our bodies. Not fat, other things. Cereals, flour, sugar, sucralose, dextrose, fructose, I don't know, all the sugars that exist out there and are in absolutely everything. When I buy ham, I read the back, the nutrition facts for added sugars, because believe it or not, ham and so many other savory foods you buy at the supermarket, meats and everything, they have sugar added. Even bacon has sugar added because they make it taste better, and you're eating a lot of sugar, and that is what is making you sick, because our body doesn't know how to process carbs and sugars. And so what happens is, every time you eat, and unfortunately we have been trained to eat 3 meals a day plus several snacks, every time you eat, you have a peak of insulin. And that insulin, the point of having that is to push those sugars and carbs and everything into the cells that are already saturated, but the idea is to keep pushing them in a store just in case one day we have a famine. And so we abuse our system. We eat too many times a day. We eat a lot of carbs. Cereal is the most unhealthy, the unhealthiest food you can eat. And recently, comparing between eggs and bacon or cereal, they determined that cereal is healthier for kids, and it's not. Oh well, we can only control what we do. So I went keto because I know, with my family history of high cholesterol, super high triglycerides, the only thing I can do is just eat fat and not carbs and sugars, because I come from Italians, so in the Mediterranean they didn't have cereal. They would eat fish and veggies every day. And so even the pasta and the bread, talk with people who have been to Italy recently. If they eat bread here, maybe they don't feel well. They eat bread in Italy, they feel fantastic, because it is not made with the same genetically modified wheat. Back there in Europe, those things are not allowed, so people can eat bread because it is easy to digest, because it's ancient grains, blah blah blah. Do your research. So I said I agree with people who say keto is dangerous. I do agree, because if you are going to do keto as a fad, as a diet to lose some weight, you're doing it wrong. That is not why you want to do keto. You do keto if you're super sick, as I was. If you have a fatty liver, if your body is saying, I cannot take this anymore, stop, and you start fainting. They put me through a heart stress tests. My heart is fantastic. So that was not the problem. The problem was I was eating all the things that were making me sick. So if you're going to use keto as a fad, it is going to backfire. And you know why? Because you will go keto and you will have hopefully less than 20 grams of carbs a day, But remember, carbs hide everywhere, so you have to be very, very strict. 20 grams or less of carbs a day. But then on Saturdays you're going to have carrot cake. And on Sundays you're going to have an ice cream. And then maybe whatever. And then you're going back on keto. And then you go out. That is super dangerous. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Do keto if you're sick and if you need to cure yourself. Because fatty liver is not a product of aging. Fatty liver is a product of what we eat that we shouldn't be eating. So if you have fatty liver, if you go on any kind of diet and you don't lose weight, you may want to consider keto as your new lifestyle, not a diet, not a thing you do just in case to lose some pounds and look better. No. It's inside. It's what happens inside. So my triglycerides came down from 450 or so, which is ridiculous, to 200. So they're still a little high. Hey, I am doing it. With keto, I was able to bring it half the way down, very close to normal and ideal. But it was not going down as fast as I wanted it, or as perfect as I wanted it. So I decided to speed the process up and make it more serious and make it better for my body. And I feel so good, you have no idea. I am so much more full of energy. So I turned into a carnivore. And it's quite easy actually. People say, well, but it's expensive because you can only eat a steak. Not really. I don't spend too much money and I am doing a fantastic carnivore diet. But you can eat meat, eggs, cheese. I have heavy cream in my coffee because it adds fat, which is very good for you. In keto, you have to have 70% of your calories coming from fat. In carnivore, 90% of your calories coming from fat. And I will share some things that are getting better, some conditions I have that are getting better. But this is the point. I went carnivore. I feel way much better, and in June I will be having my tests. I will check how it is, how it's going. But I do have to admit that sometimes I cheat. So I am actually a ketovore, but I don't want to say that because otherwise I give myself permission too often to have a few carbs here and there. So I am a ketovore because occasionally I have some nuts like pecans or walnuts or almonds, a few, not many, but occasionally I do that. So occasionally, very occasionally, like once a month, I have a salad. I don't have fruit, I don't have veggies, I don't have any of those things that I love. That's it. I want to be healthy. I want to get to my last day, which may be in 2 weeks or in 2 years or in 20 years. I don't know when. But until then, I want to feel like I feel today and be happy. That is why I am carnivore, occasionally ketovore. That is extreme, but just so you see how easy it is, today I'm giving you a recipe that I cook once a week or so, and then I put in little Tupperwares and I fraction that, so I have one portion per day, and I am eating just once a day. I have that, and then I have some cheese for dessert and maybe a few walnuts or something like that, but that's it, once a day. And then in the morning I have my coffee with heavy cream to boost the ketones in my blood, which is so good for you, so good for you. So this recipe is an accident, and it ended up being very similar to a very complicated dish that I used to make that is amazingly good, and this ended up being the same flavor, so amazing. I buy 2 trays of skirt steak. I like a skirt, and I cut in the middle and then in fajita kind of strips, so it's a bite size. I do not remove the fat. I actually check on the trays and I buy the ones with the more fat. I cut them, I put them in a pan, and I cook them. I sear that until they get really golden, so the fat gets really well rendered. And when they are golden and rendered, I add a good bunch of chopped garlic, because garlic helps to reduce triglycerides. I have to do this, otherwise I don't know how to pronounce it. And a good bunch of fresh thyme. And you cook the garlic for a minute or 2. You turn off the heat, and you add about a cup of heavy cream. Cover, let it rest for half an hour. The thyme and the garlic with the cream, they make such an amazing combination. So sometimes I make other things like sausage stews and things like that, but this one is being my favorite, and I don't mind eating the same thing every day because it's delicious. So now try it. Please use fresh thyme. I couldn't get it the other day, so I got a little bottle of dry thyme. It's not the same. It's very good, but not the same. Get fresh thyme and then make it a lot of garlic, and then you let me know how you like it. Thank you very much for being here. Let me know in comments what your fears are. Oh, by the way, a friend of mine said, I want to be carnivore because I heard it is fantastic for flaccid skin, to tighten the skin. No, that is Dr. Facebook saying those stupid things. Don't go carnivore so your skin looks better. That's not the point. The point of being carnivore is to make yourself healthy. No. Keto and carnivore are to change your metabolism. If you have metabolic syndrome and any of the associated complications of that, you have to go keto or carnivore. The aesthetics, that is not the reason to start one of these diets, because you're going to do it wrong, you're going to jump out, and you're going to cause more damage probably than good. The loose skin, it happens with the years, but that doesn't stop you from feeling great and happy and healthier. So I wish I had turned carnivore 30 years ago, because I would be so, I would have so much less saggy skin, my neck. Ugh. But you know what? Carnivore or keto are not going to change this. This happens. I have used the sun for too many years, and yes, our skin suffers those things, and metabolic conditions, they make them worse. You will feel fantastic because you will lose weight. I lost about 35 pounds in total during the whole process. I feel fantastic and I am full of energy. So, and I want to see you here again next week. So give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow for more, because we have so many things to discuss, and give me your questions. Maybe there is something I could make a video about, and you have the idea and I don't know what it is because you don't tell me. Tell me in comments, and we will see you again very soon. Thank you very much for being here.